All right, y'all. Happy Friday. Let's make sure I got this all together. I'm going to wait for everybody to hop on. Listen, if you are on the replay gang, let's not do that. Let's don't be on the replay gang. Let's not do it. So what I want you to do is go to YouTube and follow me. YouTube name is Coach Tucker. My goal is to get as many people as possible as I can over there. All right. All right, guys. Listen, this is what we're talking about. I am headed out for date night, and I don't want anything to get in the way of me keeping my word to myself. And so here I am early. Hey, Sam. Listen, I tried to log in to send an email, and the thing wouldn't open. And I said, there is no time. So I'm just going to run it. And so here we are. So this is what we're talking about today. This is what I want to say today. I'm going to talk about the power of having a committed yes. All right. So this is what has happened. I have been having the most amazing time. Have you that? The most amazing time out here with my Heavenly Father, just having conversations with the Lord, okay? And in my time, just being out here with the Lord, all right? The most important things, like things come to my mind. So something that came to my mind, I thought about a season in my life where I used to feel like, I don't know, being a good friend meant being present in a particular way. So when your friends ask you to do something or to go somewhere, for me, being a great friend meant being able to be depended on, right? And I still value that. That's still important to me. That's still something that I find value in. But in these like times that I'm in now, what I am starting to realize is it's okay for me to make my yeses mean yes and my no's mean no. And an unapologetic no. All right. And so this is what I would do. Somebody say, hey, would you like to help me with something? And I would say, absolutely. I would not give any thought to what I have to move around, what adjustments I need to make on my end. I'm just trying to be a great friend. So I'm there for you. You can count on me. You can rely on me. So what does that do? You want to come to I need you to come to my event. Can you come to this? Can you come to that? And I'm like, sure, I will be there. Right. And no thought about what adjustments I'm going to have to make in life to make this happen. And what I started to realize is that I was running here, there, and everywhere. So when I think back to the fact that I was 240 pounds and I was 5'3", it's because I was at everybody's everything, doing everything for everybody and feeling great and loyal about it. All right, feeling like an amazing and phenomenal friend to them, but taking very little care of me. All right, and so in my coaching responsibilities, I see people do this all the time. So in the Success Squad, we are reading a book called The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. And in it, we just talk about the many ways that we fill our schedules up and there's literally no margin. All right. If I'm not being clear with what I'm saying when I'm talking about margin, what I'm saying is in life, just like a sheet of paper, there's a little line on the side that we typically don't write on, right? We don't fill up every inch of the page. We leave some parts of that page blank. All right. Our life and our schedule should look the same. There should be a gap between you and all the things that you have to do. All right. There should be some time that's for you that's not spent running around doing all the things for everybody, being everything to everybody. Now, I recognize this might be hard for some of us. We might be new to this, not true to this, and we might feel like when we make a decision to add margin to our life and really think about the things that we are saying yes to, like what are the things that you're giving your yes to, we might find it difficult. So here are a couple of things I want to share with you. The first thing I want you to know is every time you give somebody a yes, that yes to somebody or that commitment to something can lead to you being over committed. All right. So when you say yes to one thing, it's no to a lot of things. All right. So this yes to this one particular thing can mean no to a whole lot of things. Now, your responsibility as a manager of yourself, the person who's responsible for taking care of you. Because if you don't do the taking care of you, nobody else is going to do it, right? So your responsibility as the manager of yourself is to make sure that you don't overcommit yourself, because that's going to lead to stress and burnout. And it's not a true reward. Like, we feel rewarded because people like us and they think we're a great friend. They'll probably give you some praises and some accolades, but that's not really the true reward. Okay. So you are responsible for thinking about, okay, in all of the responsibilities and things that I have to do, where does this fall on the list of priorities? All right. And is what I'm saying yes to worth the sacrifice for all of the things that I'm saying no to? All right. So, for example, Friday night, me and my husband are about to head out for date night. So we're about to go out. It's just time that we carve out in a week for us to spend time with each other. No kids. Can we just connect? This is how we really keep our connection strong. We do our, nightly, just, we call it pillow talk, checking in, talking to each other. But, this is just time that if we don't do anything else in the week, we're going to make time. All right. So that time right there, it would have to be somebody of extreme importance for me to say, you know what? Let's not do day night tonight and let me do this instead. All right. So know this. It's called in business, this is called an opportunity cost. But what I'm saying to you about yes to this, and it means no to a whole lot of things, is opportunity cost. You are not God. You are a limited person with limited time, energy, and resources. There are limits. All right. So there's only so many places you can be at one time, right? You can't be everywhere. You have a few places, one place, you want to be in one place, right? So if I say, yes, I'll be here with you at your event, it means no to a lot of things. So my date night means no to maybe working in my business. It means no to being available for people that I coach. It means no to being available for my children, my friends. It means no to it means no to taking a nap or just lounging on the couch watching a movie. It's no. So the question I have to ask myself is this yes worth all the things that I say no to? And the answer is absolutely yes, it is. All right. So I want you to understand that every time you give somebody a yes, you need to make sure that it's worth all the no's. All right. So I know we think we're being a good friend, but I know I was guilty of being the type of person showing up at events because I said I'd be there and I want to be a good friend. But in my heart of hearts, on the way there, I'm complaining because I don't want to go. I really don't want to go. Hey, Colleen, I don't want to go. All right. But I'm going to show up because I'm being a supportive friend. Don't you know that the best gift that I could give somebody is the real, authentic version of me that is there because I absolutely want to be there? So me showing up because I feel obligated or I feel like the person will be upset with me, it is they night. But listen, I don't want the person to be upset with me. That's not even really a gift to them. I'm giving them a raggedy version of me, right? I'm just showing up, girl, because I don't want you to be mad at me. So what I had to become comfortable with is being honest with people about the fact that, and you don't have to tell them, no, I can't come to your thing because I want to lay on my couch, right? You can just say, I don't have the bandwidth to do that now, or I have to check it, see what's on my plate. I got too many things on my plate. There's a million ways you can say it. Google it. All right. The point is, you can nicely say to somebody, I'm unable to do that. I won't be able to do it. Thank you for thinking of me. I thank you for inviting me. I appreciate that. Right. And I feel like my real, this is where and we said we we're going to talk about junk food relationships this weekend. This is where you put people's feet to the fire and you really get to see who with you and who ain't. All right. So the truth is, if you fall out with me because I miss your event, it might be too hard for me to be your friend. Okay. All these perfection standards you got, it might be too hard for me to be your friend. Okay. So this is what I want you to know. When you show up because you want to be there. Hey, Ryan, when you show up because you absolutely want to be there, people can trust you. And for me, it's going to make the relationship better. There are a few people in the world who know I will move this schedule around to be there for you. All right. And they know that I am committed to them. But when I show up, I really want to be there. I'm not coming because I feel I'm not doing that. Okay. And I think it makes us closer with the people, the relationships that I absolutely value. I think it's a gift to them because I'm bringing like my real self. I am bringing me, not the version of me that's like, yeah, girl, hey, and I don't really want to be there. All right. So I'm going to give genuine and authentic yeses. And I'm going to give unapologetic no's. All right. And it's not because they're not important to me or I don't value them, or I don't want to be a good friend. I don't want to be reliable. But remember, I am the manager of me. And so I'm responsible for the number of commitments that I allow to come on my plate. Because when my plate is full of commitments and obligations, I become stressed and overwhelmed and burnt out. And that's no good for nobody. So I'm responsible for managing me. I also want people to know that my yeses mean yes and my no means no. All right. So when you are okay giving people authentic yeses, yeses from that you really mean, all right, and no's, you know, you don't have to do all this explaining. I was guilty of that. I feel like I gotta explain. I gotta tell you, okay, I would come, girl, but I gotta da, 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 da. You don't owe an explanation. And I feel like people who really value you and care about you and understand, like, we all grown and we all got things to do, and they are thinking more of themselves than they're thinking of you. I think they're okay with, hey, Arnita, listen, I think they're okay with it. All right. As a matter of fact, everybody is grown, okay, responsible for managing their own emotions. And I think people respect you more. I think people have more respect for you when you are true to yourself. I know I do. Okay. I'm not going into, but I know some people that have a tremendous amount of respect for, because every time I see them, they show all the way up as who they are. They don't have to bring this friendly version that's not really who they are. People respect you more. All right. And you're teaching them how to treat you. Like, I have an aunt. My aunt is, I just asked her this the other day. It's my favorite aunt. It's my favorite aunt. One of my favorite aunts. She's my oldest aunt. I think she said she was seven. She's in 72 or 74. Okay. Long story short, my auntie got a schedule. And if you want to talk to her, you gonna get on the schedule. Okay. When you call her, she got a certain way. Like, call, don't don't leave voicemail. She finally got text. And guess what I do? Because I love and care about her, I make the adjustments. When I want to talk to her, I make the adjustments. I know exactly what to do to get her on the phone. I know what days, I know her schedule. I know what days to call her. I know when it's too late. She's not going to talk to me too late. I make the adjustments because I value the relationship. All right. So people who value the relationship that they have with you, they will make the adjustments. You really show, but we have these expectations of people and we haven't even given them like an honest version of ourselves for them to know how to treat us. All right. So I think that it makes your relationship stronger. This is what I believe. All right. So I know some of y'all like, man, I'm so used to saying yes to everything. This people pleasing. This is the first thing I want you to know. The first thing is you got to be clear on who you're trying to please. All right. I have given up trying to please people. This is Tanisha all day, every day, the same. Okay. It's the same. All right. Because I can't. I can, no matter how much I do or how much I try to please people, I'm a fail because I'm being perfect and they are imperfect. All right. I'm never gonna go wrong trying to please God. So think about who you're trying to please. Are you trying to please people or are you trying to please God? See, because God has given me multiple responsibilities. And when I put those things to the side to do other things, it should be worth it. It should be worth the no that I gave to these other things that God told me to do. Okay. So the first thing you need to do is just pause. Don't answer real fast. If you like me, I used the yes would be out as soon as the question was asked. Okay. Hey, Auntie. Nisi, how old is Aunt Jeannie? I was just talking about her. I'm trying to figure out my aunt, this is my other aunt. She's my favorite aunt too. Okay. But she can tell you my Aunt Jeannie got a whole schedule. You got a particular way to get in touch with her. Nisi, how old is Jean? So long story short, my auntie got a schedule. But anyway, don't answer right away. Pause. Like, don't make the commitment until you have given yourself space and time to see what else you got going on, right? If you don't have your ideal week in a calendar, how can you say yes to these other things? Like, you have to really think about before you make the commitment to the person. Take a minute, 74. I said it either 72 or 74. So before you commit to it, take a minute and think about how you're really feeling about it. There's certain environments that I go to. It's more stressful for me to be there. I really don't enjoy it. It's really not a great time. So what would be the benefit? I really have to assess what's the benefit of me going to this particular place that I don't necessarily enjoy. And I enjoy these other things more. Like, what would be the benefit? So pause, think about how you really feel and what's your intention for going. Okay. Think about the yes that you're wanting to give. Give yourself some time and space. So come up, have your answer predetermined for when people ask you. All right. So when people ask me, they know I operate by a schedule. I say I have to look and see what else is happening on my schedule, which is absolutely true. Right. And I just give myself space. I'll let you know. Let me see. Because I'm always giving myself space so I can figure out, do I really want to say yes to this thing? Is it aligned with what I'm trying to do in this season of my life? Some seasons are busier than others. So with respect to everything you got going on, is this a good season for you to make these commitments? I have a friend who just had an event, and I actually would like to have go. I would have liked to go. I wanted to go. The timing was kind of off for me, and just the topic was just like a. In this season, I really don't have the bandwidth to do that. So I knew that going to this particular event would take away time that I typically have dedicated to spend with my husband and my children. And because this is a not busy, but just a season where I have a lot of responsibilities, I have to make sure that those times that I have put aside in my schedule for my family, that I honor those. So I could not say yes to this person. All right. But I wanted to go to the event, but it just in this season didn't have it to give. All right. So you just pause. Okay. Become aware of why are you saying yes. Because you're just giving out yeses like nobody's business. You just passing out a yes. You get a yes. You get a yes. You get a yes. All right. So pause and figure out why are you about to get this yes, and do you really, really mean it, or are you doing it out of some sense of obligation that you have to the person for whatever reason? All right. In the moment that you decide to respond to the person, make sure that you're honest with them. Don't make up no lies about what else you got to do and all of that. You can just tell them the honest to God truth. All right. You can make it as long as I feel like as long as you stay in the respect territory, you can be honest with folks. Okay. But you know, you can ask them for that could be the point where you can say, you know, let me make sure I understand what you got going on before you give an answer. But I think that you should make sure that you're honest. Don't lie. Don't make up a story. You don't got to get a whole backstory for why you're not coming, but don't, whatever you do, be honest and respectful. All right. I think most people can handle that. I think most people are mature enough to handle my honest and truthful and clear no. All right. And it's not, and I think they can take it, has nothing to do with it. All right. So just know that once you commit to it now, if you get a yes, I need you to be all the way in. Don't give no wobbly yeses. All right. I need you to be all the way in when you give these yeses. But you need to be intentional and give some thought about who you are giving yes to. All right. Don't tell your friend that I can't come to your thing because I'm working on my business and they never see you working on your business, or you never make no progress in your business. Okay. Make sure you tell the whole truth and you commit to what you say. Okay. So this is what I want you to know, because this is what we talked about this morning. And I'm trying not to get off track. If you, first of all, you should be in the Success Squad, because this is how we get down. Miss Annette is in the Success Squad. She can tell you. This is the book we are reading. The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. This book will change your life. Okay. So in this book, he really talks about how all these things that we're doing. So this is the real danger. In the book, John Mark Comer talks about how we have all these commitments, all these things to do, and we have little to no margin in our life, meaning our whole page. So imagine your life looking like a whole page that is filled, and you're running from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing, right? And you're never like locked in, and you never have any room in your day or life to talk to God. That's the enemy's desire. And what he said that really knocked me off my feet was when he said, every moment of boredom is a portal for prayer. Meaning every single time I got bored and I said, let me get on my Instagram and see what's popping. That was an open door. So a portal is a door or a gateway. All right. That was a door for me to use that time talking to God. All right. That was what it was. It was a door that I could have used to talk to God. But yet I was on the temple of Instagram, not in relationship with my Heavenly Father. So I'm just saying we have to be very, very intentional about what we allow to. Thank you, Miss Annette. What we allow to be on our plate. And so that's going to mean that for some of the relationships or activities or commitments that you have had, some of your yeses will need to become no, at least for a season. And if you're going to become a great manager of yourself, you are responsible for managing you and every resource that God has given you. And so if you're going to become a great manager of yourself, it's going to require for you to be very intentional about what you allow on that plate, because you're not God, you are human, and you have limitations. There's only so much you can do. There's only so many hours in the day. There's only so many people you can help. at one time, right? You have limitations, all right? And so you have to recognize those limitations. And what it forces you to do is to keep your eyes, you keep the main thing, the main thing. So you keep your focus where it should be. Because I'm not going to get off track, but that's exactly what the enemy wants you to be caught up doing all these other things. And you're so caught up and you're so distracted that you forget the main thing. And it's whatever God called you to do. And this is why I'm a firm believer that we have to be clear on what God called us to do. Because once you get clear about that, and you start doing that every day. Hey, Phyllis. Look, Phyllis was in the Success Squad. Phyllis was telling me today, she said, when we were talking about this book, she said we was all in her Kool-Aid. All right? So when you become a good manager of yourself, it will become easier. See, once you know what God called you to do, and you're absolutely sure that I'm operating in what God called me to do. So one of my gifts that I know, one of the reasons God created Tanisha, encourage, inspire, motivate, teach. Those are my gifts. So I do them every day, no matter what I do. So even though Sam got on me, supposed to be heading out for date night, I told myself I was going to do this. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to go on date night with a clear head. That's the other thing solid yeses give you the ability to do too. When I say yes to this, I'm able to be fully present. I'm not thinking about all the things that I got to do at home because I've already checked my commitments, made sure that this thing that I'm doing is aligned with my priorities, and I got the space for it, and I'm all the way in. So when I'm on my date with my husband, I'm not going to be thinking about nothing else but that, because that is his time that I have blocked off for him. I'm not thinking about nothing else. All right. So it frees you up to be fully present where you are, because you're not somewhere you don't want to be, thinking about where you rather be or what you really need to be doing. All right. And all of that could be avoided if you were okay giving a genuine, honest, transparent, respectful no. All right. And I just want you to know, people are not studying about you. I'm going to say it a million times over. We think that if I say this, we make up these stories in our mind. And I have been guilty of making up a whole scenario that's just a made up story in my mind. So you think if I tell this person I can't, or I tell this person no, they're going to be upset. They're not going to be my friend anymore. They're not going to like me. Blah, 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 blah. You got a whole story. And it's probably not even true. It's probably not even true. All right. So if you see me in these streets, you going to already know she want to be there. She want to be there. I'm probably going to be late, but I'm there because I really want to be there. And I think that's a much better gift to the people that we say we love, is to make my yes mean absolutely yes. And I'm absolutely committed. All right. People are too busy, Sam. We think they thinking about us. They thinking about what they got going on, and they think about you periodically. Okay. They're not studying about you like that. We are not that deep. Like we give ourselves, and I'm not saying you're not important. Let me clear some things up. I'll be like, important. I'm not saying you're not important, okay? I'm just saying that you think that people need you more than they do. All right. People, give them some credit that they are adults enough to manage their emotions. They are adults enough to manage, how they feel. And if they feel some kind of way, give them some credit that they are adults enough to have a conversation with you. All right, where you can then make sure you are fully expressing where they stand in your life, what position. See, we got to be honest having these conversations. We don't like honest conversations with each other and ourselves. We don't like that. All right. So you have to make that a whole thing. So that's all I got, guys. I thought about that today. And really, if people want to know, that's one of the main underlying issues. I say all the time that even though I lost weight, it was never about the weight. And so people are like, what do you mean? It was absolutely about the weight. It was never about the weight. It was about all the things that I allowed in my life that allowed my management and care of myself to be a lower priority. So what are those things? My inability to say no, my desire to please people, my lack of boundaries, my desire to receive validation from other people. Because the truth, so this is why you got to be real with you, because the truth is there's some validation or some feel good that I get from the roles that I carry. It's how I am designed. So when people would say you're a good teacher, or you're a good friend, or you're a good daughter, there was some value. I would take that as a value of an evaluation of me. And so I I'm complaining. I want a good score. All right. I want a good score. And so I'm taking their value, right, of me. And it don't matter. It's only one place that my value is determined. All right. He lets me know the value I have. And so if what I say, my no upsets you, it's okay. So y'all be okay knowing. And then this is the last thing I'm saying. I'm really gonna go. If your no's cause some people to leave your life, let them go. Let them go. All right? Because what happens is you open the door for people who value you for who you are and value what you're trying to do in your life and respect you enough to allow you to prioritize what's the most important to you. All right? So let them go. God will send you some new people. I promise. Some amazing people. All right? So listen, guys, I love y'all life. We're running this back on Saturday because I said all week, and Saturday is the week, and I think we started Monday, so it looks like it'll be Saturday and Sunday. And I might even keep going next week, but for sure, absolutely committed to tomorrow and Sunday. Sam, you got the gift of goodbye. Oh, it was so hard for me, Sam. It was hard. The gift of goodbye was hard for me. I want to keep everybody. I want to love it. I like having a lot of friends. I do. And so I had to learn, clarify what you mean when you say friend. And everybody you call a friend ain't a friend. Hey, Tiff, everybody you call a friend ain't a friend. So that's the part right there. And so when I thought about it, I was like, I know I keep saying this is my fourth close, y'all. Listen, I'm telling y'all, I'm on these books. The other book we read, The Success Squad, Relational Intelligence, he talks about how even Jesus had categories for his relationships. So even though he had 12 disciples, there were 3 that were in his inner circle. So those were his friends. So those, to me, those people get an access that everybody else, right? As we want to party wherever we go. So Jesus had 12 disciples. He had all these other people who were following him, but he had the 12 disciples. They were closer. But the 3, that inner circle, that would be the equivalent of friends. And in the book, Pastor Darius says Jesus took them up on the mountain to pray, and he didn't have to explain to nobody else why it was them 3. So we feel like we got to explain why Susie, Sally, and Mary is my friend in the inner circle. Jesus didn't explain nothing. They went on them and he said, come on up on this mountain and pray with me. When they came down, he didn't tell nobody why it was them and not you. He didn't know the explanation. So we're going to be Christians. We say we're Christians, live like Jesus. All right. And so relational intelligence, what I learned is that circle that you call a friend, really labeling it is important. And for those people, there are some adjustments that I would be willing to make. But these people have stewarded their access well. Not because access to me is, but when you get me, you get a whole lot. And this is how y'all got to start thinking, not in an arrogant way. But when people get you, they get a whole lot. They get a whole lot. And you can't just be going out and giving it to everybody. Okay. So make your yeses absolutely mean yes, 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 yes. All right. And if you don't want to go, it's okay. Be honest. Don't make up a lie. Pause. Think about whether you really want to go. Don't just be passing out yeses. Pause. If it's a real yes, do it because you committed. All right. And be there and be all the way there. And if it's a no, be honest, tell the truth, be transparent. People will respect you more. All right. I love you guys all the way to life. I have had y'all. Love y'all. I've had a tremendous amount of fun doing this. And I love it. So I will see you guys tomorrow. And we could probably do a time. What's the time? Y'all tell me. Y'all morning people or evening people? Let's do midday. Let's do tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Sound good? 12 o'clock Central. Let's do 12 Central. All right. Tomorrow at 12 Central. Yes, Phyllis. When people get you, they get a lot. All right. You come with a whole set of gifts and they get all of this. You can't just be giving it out to everybody. Everybody ain't worth. Okay. So tomorrow at 12 p.m. I will see you then. Sunday will be a different time because I got church and we be there all day. All right. I love y'all life and I will see you tomorrow at 12 Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. Have a good one. Yeah, 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 Central. See y'all tomorrow. It's written. I love it.